And this broaches a larger point that I also wanted to talk about, which is something that I'm honestly genuinely conflicted about. Like, I've never been as conflicted about something as I have been about this issue, which is how I feel about Twitter, social media companies, book publishers in general, taking action to, I guess, censor these fascists, because that's what they are. And I do want to make that distinction. It's not like these people are just some, YouTube host. It's not like this person is just someone out there doing something. Like, these people are fascists, in my opinion. Josh Hawley is at very least a proto-fascist, and I understand why Simon and Schuster has just canceled plans to publish his new book, something which he is already up in arms about and screaming, pulling the censorship card. Obviously, just taking to social media to denounce this. But here's their statement. After witnessing the disturbing, deadly insurrection that took place on Wednesday in Washington, D.C., Simon & Schuster has decided to cancel publication of Senator Josh Hawley's forthcoming book, The Tyranny of Big Tech. We did not come to this decision lightly. As a publisher, it will always be our mission to amplify a variety of voices and viewpoints. At the same time, we take seriously our larger public responsibility as citizens and cannot support Senator Hawley after his role in what has become a dangerous threat to our democracy and freedom.
Talk about the chickens coming home to fucking roost, bro. Look, Republicans, capitalists of any kind are always apologizing for big business, saying, "Hey, it's in the fine print, man. They have the right to associate with you." Remember Colin Kaepernick? Hello, did we hear any uproar about this? No, all we heard from the Republican Party was, "Oh, Colin Kaepernick, he's too much of a celebrity. They don't want to associate that with their football team. That's their right as an independent company." This has nothing to do with systemic racism and not taking a stand. Like, what are you talking about? Like, one, let's put a pin in the fact that right now that, the merits of censoring fascism, right? Because I'm pretty open when it comes to free speech. I don't think this budges a free speech issue, because I think it's a matter of, like, if any of us wanted to write a fucking piece that was like, "Hey, we need democracy in the workplace," good luck finding a fucking publisher that wants to publish your book. You know what I mean? That's the marketplace that we're competing in. Of course it's fucked up. We are the ones that want to fix it. Josh Hawley's the one that wants to exploit it in a different way with his radical, like, prosperity gospel, right? This is the guy that just weeks ago was cheerleading the confirmation of Amy Coney Barrett, right? A real proto-fascist, right? So, like, I don't know. I'm not surprised.
Do you think this is, like, unacceptable censorship, Kahmali, or do you think this is, within their rights as a publisher?
I don't think that this really falls under censorship. I mean, you got a private corporation, and they love to say that, censorship has to come. It's, and I get the sort of, like, Kyle Kulinski argument behind, like, some of these big tech platforms and the size of their platforms. They really have become, like, Twitter has become the public square in a sense. And in order to sort of, I wouldn't mind seeing those sort of social media platforms nationalized in a way, so that we have public control over them. And in that case, then you can make the argument about First Amendment violations and freedom of speech. I do, in a sort of broader sense, fall into the sort of camp of, like, okay, yes, these private corporations, when they grow to a certain size, and they're a certain size, based on their role in the public, yeah, they have a responsibility to sort of uphold the principles of free speech. But this here, like you said, and that was the point that I would have made in this as well, Zach, is like, we don't all get the platform. They're not giving all the socialists the platform. Look at even, like, a Richard Wolff. When Richard Wolff writes a book, like, he can't go to these big publishers to get that thing published, and he's a respected historian, economist, somebody with all the credentials.
Published by Haymarket.
Yeah, exactly. He's got to go to, like, Lulu Books and stuff, and, like, exactly, Verso Books, and Michael Brooks goes and writes a book. Like, he's not, Simon and Schuster isn't publishing Michael Brooks' book. You got to go to these little independent outlets, and so we don't get the platform at all. And so I don't see this as in any way. I mean, you're talking about taking away a platform from a person who is a United States senator. So you got a United States senator. He's got all the platform that he needs. It's the everyday sort of person that has no platform whatsoever. And my thing is, like, am I going to sit out? Would I go out there and be the one to, like, be leading the movement to deplatform him in that way? Like, probably not, because I think that there's other areas that we could spend our time and energy on.
I agree with that.
Yeah, but will I spend a second like defending Josh Hawley in this, or shedding a tear, or losing a minute of sleep over Josh Hawley losing a book deal with Simon and Schuster? Hell, fucking no. Good. Good for American democracy in that sense.
And I think that Salisa has a really good point here. She mentions that the First Amendment doesn't necessarily entitle someone to having a book published by a major book publishing company. I personally would not be cool with Josh Hawley being banned on Twitter or other social medias, and I've even said that about
Trump. He can't publish.
And I agree that social media is at some point, it really is the new public square, I think. And I do think there's a really good argument for there at least being like one centralized social media that's like nationalized in a sense. We can debate how successful that would be, but I do think there's a lot of merit to that. However, it's a different thing to get a book contract and then make a shit ton of money off of whatever the fuck you write. Like that's not just being partaking in the public square. At that point, you're capitalizing on your speech, and it's not it's not incumbent on Simon and Schuster to enable that for you or to, prop you up in that way. So I totally don't think that this necessarily falls in that area. And I'm usually someone that would consider myself like a borderline free speech absolutist. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's not censorship. I am not giving you my platform to spread your fucking shit anymore. I thought you were worth this. It's math and business, and it's capitalist business, which is what he cheerleads for his fucking living. It's such bullshit. Like Republicans always want to cry when private businesses decide that their fucking shit doesn't make money anymore. And I'm like, this is your whole system that you're talking about. Like that, it's not popular, and they don't want to be associated with you. Good, here. How's it feel to be not popular? That's the whole left entire existence, right? Our ideas are popular, but we're marginalized is what I'm getting at. You know what I mean?
I thought Josh Hawley was like this outsider populist motherfucker. Why do you care about selling a goddamn book through Simon and Schuster? That's like the most elitist shit I can imagine, having your fucking New York Times best-selling book on your why does that matter to you? Fucking self-publish it if you're such a fucking outsider and such a populist. I fucking hate when they like these people. This is the kind of guy that would normally, insult or mock someone on the left for, how many New York Times best-selling books do you have or something like that, And meanwhile, he's trying to cash in with his dumbass book. Like, dude, you don't have the right to do that. Self-publish it. Start your own website. That's what Zach and I did. Start your own fucking YouTube channel if you want to espouse your nonsense.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree with you.